I love this book. However young, the seeker who sets out upon the way shines bright over the world. But day and night, the person who is awake shines in the radiance of the Spirit. Meditate, live purely, be quiet, do your work with mastery. Like the moon, come out from behind the clouds and shine. The Buddha. You know, it's one thing to have a place of worship that does not repel people. It's quite another to have a place of worship that is narrow-minded or parochial. And what you do, say, I don't have a place of worship, and I do not recommend buildings as places of worship, because quite often we repel people simply by a name, okay? If we give a place of worship, let's say that we have a place of worship that suggests a church, for example. If you call yourself a church, you are repelling everyone who is not into churches. You see what I mean? So if you have a name like the Webcam Church of Virginia, okay? So what happened is, because you call it a church, you're repelling everyone who does not believe in the Christian doctrine. Get me? But let's assume that your interest is in fact on webcams. So you just call it the Webcams of Virginia. You're no longer repelling people, but you're bringing people with an interest in webcams. Does that make sense? I'm using webcam only because I have a box here that says webcams. But the point is this. Many places of worship, they pretend to be spiritual places, to be inclusive. They pretend to welcome everyone, but in fact their very name suggests repelling people. For example, if I had the Nature Church of Virginia, let's call it that, right? But I don't want to repel anyone. I would drop the name church and I would call it Nature of Virginia. All of a sudden now I'm attracting photographers, people who are interested in nature, in butterflies, in bees. You see my point? So if you're going to have a place of worship that you want to attract people who have an interest in spiritual matters, then drop any name that suggests a way of repelling others and make it inclusive. I love the Buddha. You know, again, I keep dropping the name of Jesus only because he was such a great master. He said to let the children come to him, because the kingdom belongs to people like them, like children. Children, you see, have no prejudices, no hate. Not until adults teach them about those negative qualities of humanity. Jesus was absolutely right.